Watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama Ann Bimini is optimistic about upcoming developments in West Grand Bahama. And ground broken for a major project in East Grand Bahama. Plus, there has been an increase in sexually transmitted diseases. A local physician is urging women to get tested. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, Grand Bahama is open for business and the $300 million eco-resort slated to be built in the Western District is said to be evidence of that fact. Tonight, the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, the Honorable Obi Boshkum, is sharing his optimism.
We wanted to have a good anchor property in West Grand Bahama to join the Old Bahama Bay, which is still a project that is far from completion.
And that additional anchor property will be a multi-million-dollar eco-resort that features villas and an agriculture component designed to grow fresh produce not only for the resort, but also the domestic market and for export to the U.S. The Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini says the Western District, like the rest of the island, has enormous potential for tourism growth.
What we need in Grand Bahama is 5,000 to 10,000 rooms to create some sustainability and job opportunities. You must remember 1 room, 2 employees. And so it's going to be great for West Grand Bahama. It's going to help West Grand Bahama, but also it sends a strong message to the rest of the world.
Reports say the development for the eco-resort called Eden will break ground for the 4th quarter of this year. Minister Wilshcombe says it's now time to prepare.
It's all well and good to have, but you have to begin the process so that once the property's open, we're ready to go. So we are excited. The construction's going to be good. We want to have majority of Bahamians on the construction site. We want to utilize Bahamians. We want to buy locally. We want to make sure that the economy benefits.
When the Atlantis Resort was constructed, the country's economy grew by 6 to 7%. The West Grand Bahama and Bimini MP is confident that the same can happen with new investments on the island, citing the completion of the government administrative complex and the Holmes Rock Junior High School as anchor projects in that regard.
Because a lot of activity is going to take place. And not only that, we're changing the transformation of West Grand Bahama, which was always the plan, transformation. And they will serve as anchors of the transformation process.
Meantime, the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce president giving his thoughts on 2 major projects announced by the Deputy Prime Minister. Officials believe those projects will turn around the island's stagnant economy. Here's that report.
I'm personally very excited about the things that are said to be happening.
The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, has announced that the government has entered into an agreement with 3 companies to redevelop the Grand Bahama International Airport in 2 phases, and work will commence this month. The Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce President James Carey says he was surprised but also excited to hear the news, as it's hard to function without a good modern airport.
And the specific question was asked of the Deputy Prime Minister is that when will the first passenger walk into that facility? And he reiterated in 2025. So that's very interesting and exciting for us, and we're looking forward to that process beginning.
The Minister of Tourism Investments and Aviation stating that one of the critical factors in getting the Grand Lucayan sold is to have a world-class international airport that can accommodate U.S. pre-clearance. He revealed that there are 3 credible offers on the table, and while they remain cautiously optimistic, they will not make any further announcements until full due diligence is complete. While the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce president says Grand Bahamians should know what is happening behind the scenes.
When the politics is done, the politicians come back to the same people who he said will not know anything until it's done for continuity of their process. So we need to know what's happening with it.
And while the multi-million-dollar investments are projected to generate hundreds of jobs for Grand Bahamians, the leader of the business sector says he wonders how much of the millions are being put back into the community.
Because a lot of it is going to be used to purchase materials and other things overseas, so how much of that actually is going on the ground in Grand Bahama, and I can make a better measure knowing what that figure is than, the figures that go out with investments.
Ground broken for a project of a different kind in East Grand Bahama, and it comes 2 months ahead of this year's Atlantic hurricane season. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has that report.
The facility will be built to withstand a Category 5 storm. Ground was broken for the multi-purpose building on the northern side of New Emmanuel Baptist Church in McLean's Town. The center is expected to house 150 persons, and the first phase will include beds, water tanks, and more.
When they did the designs, we had to make sure that we can withstand 200 miles an hour winds, and we wanted to be high above the watermark of a storm surge. So the building can withstand 18 feet storm surge, and we have all our power source, the generators, everything is above that storm surge level. So during a storm and after the storm, everything will be safe.
Chief Counselor for East Grand Bahama Marcus Cooper, Senator Kirkland Russell, and many more bringing remarks and declaring the project as much needed in the East End community.
Today is just a testament to the world that East Grand Bahama is still here. We are alive and well, and we will continue to rebuild one church at a time, one home at a time, one community at a time, one business at a time, one heritage festival at a time. But guess what? We will rebuild.
This building provides hope as shelters, because hurricanes is not the only forms of disaster. You could have a fire disaster. You could have a boat accident. You may need this building to evacuate something that happened in Abaco, something that happened in someplace else in this country. This is one country.
The second phase of the project will include the construction of the back section, a kitchen and shower facility. Work is expected to begin within the next 3 weeks. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Thanks, Jolanda. Now to Health Beat. There is an uptick in sexually transmitted diseases here on Grand Bahama. A local physician calls it troubling and is advising women to be screened immediately. Jaquant has the story.
Sexually transmitted diseases, also known as STDs, are infections that are transmitted during vaginal, anal, and oral sexual intercourse. According to Dr. Bodie Williams, they are very common, particularly gonorrhea, chlamydia, and an additional one called trichomonas.
We have been seeing an increase in that, in addition to hepatitis and HIV. And so what I am advocating is for all ladies who are sexually active or have been sexually active is to please get screened.
While most STDs affect both men and women, in many cases the health problems they cause can be more severe for women. Dr. Bodie Williams says that ignorance is more costly than knowledge and is urging women to book their appointments immediately with their primary care provider.
It's so convenient now. It can be even screened through the urine. You don't even have to do a swab. So it's a painless route of finding out what's happening. And these infections are very treatable. They're not lifelong infections, but they can affect your fertility if left untreated.
The more times a woman is infected, the greater the chance that she won't be able to have a baby, or the greater the likelihood that she will be admitted to the hospital, according to the gynecologist doctor. Now, what does the symptoms look or feel like? Well, the doctor says sometimes there are no symptoms, but on the other hand,
if you're having any type of vaginal discharge that has a color, a green color, yellow color, any odor, if you're having spotting associated with sexual intercourse, if you're having spotting outside of your cycle, but remember I said that many ladies are either asymptomatic, your partner doesn't have any symptoms, and so the best bonus is to get screened. So sometimes it will get picked up when a person comes in with a urinary tract infection randomly, or during pregnancy when we're screening for infections, or after a person's had a complication such as a miscarriage or preterm labor, and these infections are associated with complications in pregnancy.
The doctor also encourages women to take advantage of the public health system where some screening can be done, or visit one of the labs on the island where the cost is only under $200. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
Heading now into news from police. Four Chinese nationals were apprehended by police on Grand Bahama Thursday night. According to reports, it was shortly before 10 p.m. when police received information that an adult male, a female, and 2 juveniles were found hiding in a yard in the area of Royal Palmway. The illegal immigrants were all handed over to the Bahamas Department of Immigration for processing. And when we come back, exploring careers in the technical and science fields, we will tell you all about it when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
Welcome to Port in a Minute, an informative segment brought to you by the Grand Bahama Port Authority, where we update you on the latest news taking place within the port group of companies and our community.
This project is revolutionary for the Bahamas because it's the first utility-scale solar power plant in the entire Bahamas. This will be a major shift in the way energy is generated on the island of Grand Bahama.
I think it was a real pleasure working together with the GBPA, GBPC, and the IDB to take this project to the finish line. We think that this island has the necessity to be autonomous. In order to be competitive, you have to have a stable structure that allows investors to come in and develop whatever they want to do. And one of the key drivers is energy.
We're delighted to have been able to sign this power purchase agreement with Lucaia Solar. What that does is going to lock in a resilient, renewable, green electricity for the next 25 years for the people of Freeport and beyond in Grand Bahama. So it really does provide price stability and predictability for the future of all Grand Bahamians.
And we are very happy not only for the climate change component, the renewable energy, but also the gender component and the inclusion of women in the labor force.
That was Port in a Minute, brought to you by the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Be sure to tune in next time for more updates.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Women of Grand Bahama, take control of your health and wellness. Join Let's Talk Women's Group on April 1st at the Old Bahama Bay Hotel. Guest speakers, informative seminars, and more. Call 441-6311 for info. See you there.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
John West Shoes is now open. Carmichael West, Nassau, behind Wendy's.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath, number 16 Oak Street, phone 688-9661. Keep it cool with Bethel's Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, located number 3 Milton Street. Phone 602-5467. Bahama Port Authority and the Grand Bahama Artist Community presents Art Lucaia, a 4-day showcase of Grand Bahamian talent, March 23rd through 26th at Rand Nature Center, Port Lucaia Marketplace, and Garden of the Groves. Reserve your tickets at events.gbpa.com/artlucaia.
According to the Bahamas Kidney Association, that about 10 to 13% of our adult population in the Bahamas
suffer from kidney disease.
We're finding kidney failure in a lot more younger people.
We did a biopsy, and they found out that 15%, I only had 15% kidney function.
That's when he told me, your kidneys are failing. And I was like, what?
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The 5th annual St. George's High School's Technical, Vocational, and Science exhibition taking place at the school's gymnasium. The theme, promoting tomorrow's workforce through technical, vocational, and science education. Several professionals were present to provide the students with insight into their careers. St. George's High School's 5th annual Technical, Vocational, and Science exhibition aimed to give students an opportunity to view career paths in a number of areas. The school's principal, Bronwyn Smith, says the exhibition promotes economic development, expands and improves the quality of employment.
Our education and training systems in the Bahamas are being transformed to meet the demand for an appropriately skilled workforce in a progressing global economy.
Alexander Darville, the Dean of Construction and Workforce Development at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, delivered an insightful keynote address. Darville encouraged students to explore the opportunities presented at the exhibition.
The way to go, in my view, is to do technical education. So I'm saying to youngsters, listen, think outside the box. Don't think the traditional lawyer, doctor. Think about a tradesman. Very easy for you to come to B3I, get a trade, and can make a very decent living very, very shortly. We have programs that are stackable, meaning that you could come in and you could actually do a course for 10 weeks, 12 weeks, and quickly go to the world of work to actually make a good, honest living.
Manager of Emergency Medical Services Derek Johnson on hand providing an inside look into the life of an emergency medical technician to eager students.
We get calls all the time. People come there all the time when they want to know what's the requirements, how do they get into this field. I mean, they probably a lot of they just hear things, but to get the right information, then they probably can make better decisions on how far they want to go in the field or if they want to get into it at all.
Recognizing the skill gap in the country and the lack of training available on the island for certain career paths, advanced dental nurse Dr. Leotha Gorman shared insights into the world of dentistry and telemedicine.
When I first came to the Bahamas, actually several months ago, I tried to hire people. I couldn't find skilled Bahamian people. And that was the issue, so I decided to offer the training free. And all they had to do was just pay for the certification and take the certification test. So this here is a model of what we would have set up in our training environment.
The exhibition closed out with a performance from the St. George's High School pop band. Love that pop band. Now to a story that is sure to inspire. Terence Capron transitioned from a musical artist known as Who Dat to a designer of empowering t-shirts for women. He shares that uplifting others with positive affirmations has always been his passion. Here's that report. He may seem like an ordinary passerby on the street, but this graphic design artist has a unique mission to sell t-shirts with empowering messages aimed specifically at women. Through his designs, he hopes to inspire women to realize their true worth and recognize that their beauty lies within.
Women are forced by society to always have to put on an image, always have to put on a show. From they get up out of bed, it's on. They have to put on a show. And this is pushed upon them to family members, to mothers, to grandmothers, and these grandmothers and mothers, they too were forced to do this.
His mission to inspire self-love is the driving force behind one of his creations, a t-shirt designed to promote a self-love lifestyle.
So you have a lot of women that's really living a lifestyle they don't want to live, but they are forced to have to. And because they're not really taught to love themselves, they gravitate to more things outside of themselves. They want to be validated, they want to be accepted, and a lot of women go through pain because of that.
Capron is a firm believer that a woman who truly understands her worth becomes a force to be reckoned with. This belief has inspired another design, a t-shirt that proudly displays the message, dangerously gorgeous.
A dangerously gorgeous lady is a lady who knows herself. She knows her value and her worth. You see what I'm saying? So she is not an open target for manipulation and mind games. This is what makes her dangerous. No weapons formed against her could prosper. Now, because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, she no longer needs outside validation to confirm the fact that she's beautiful, and that's what makes her gorgeous.
Unlocking a woman's understanding of her true worth is at the heart of his message. He believes that once a woman understands that, she can let go of outdated ways of thinking. This idea has inspired a brand design aptly named Smooches.
Smooches is when you kiss the old you goodbye. You say goodbye to the old you. You kiss that part of you goodbye. And then smooches is also have fun with the new you. Have fun with the new you. And so that's basically what these designs are all about. It's just to inspire women to love themselves first. And that's it. And once women learn to love and embrace themselves first, then the future babies will learn to love and nurture themselves first. And then we won't see so much suicide and so much depression and so much stress.
If you would like to order one of the empowering t-shirts, Terence can be reached at 439-3746.
That's my phone number, and basically wherever you are, I deliver, I'll bring them to you.
What a powerful message. Sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. Coach Joanna Ole Miss Lady Rebels took down #1 seed Stanford University in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The Ole Miss Lady Rebels will now advance to the Sweet 16.
Coach Joe, you're about to head to Seattle for the Sweet 16. You just beat a #1 seed.
This is for the people with $1 and a dream. I'm a little girl from the Bahamas that was given an opportunity. I wasn't Ole Miss's first choice, but I was the right one, and I was naive enough to think that I could do it, and that's what no ceilings means, that there's no limit. And so I'm just really proud to be the head coach here.
Switching gears now in sports, the Grand Bahama High School All-Star Game is scheduled for April 1st at St. George's Gym. The top 24 players in high school basketball was drafted for the game.
This is just the beginning. We have some bright plans as we move on. Mr. Butler, who's the district superintendent, and myself are partnering with the Grand Bahama Secondary School Athletic Association, who has the responsibility and the care of the day-to-day operation of athletics here on the island of Grand Bahama. This is just a way of us getting started by hosting an all-star weekend where you would be featured not just in the gymnasium, but the lady over there, Ms. Julie, is putting together a web page with all of your faces on it, and everything that we can find out about you will be out there in the social media where people can learn who you are and what your dreams and goals, what your aspirations are.
And finally in sports, Corsom Little League Baseball Predators got the win against the Bucks in 8U play. MSC Red Sox defeated the Lions 14-3, and 10U action, Fortune 361 against the Lions 5-1. The Lions and the Royals had a draw 11-11. In 12U play, the Red Sox won against the Royals 10-6, and in 15U play, the Lions edged out Fortune 360 11-10. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
And now it is time for Health is Wealth Mondays with Lucayan Family Care and Concierge.
Family planning involves being intentional about the timing and frequency of pregnancies. In the Bahamas, unplanned pregnancies are estimated to be 70 to 80% of all pregnancies. Family planning is beneficial because it allows parents better control over the timing of pregnancies and the sizes of families. This allows better control over resources needed to care for their families. It can also decrease the risk for pregnancy-related complications. There are a variety of family planning methods available, both publicly and privately. These include oral pills, injections, the coil and implantable devices, patches, male and female condoms, as well as vasectomies or male sterilization and tubal ligation or female sterilization. Discuss your pregnancy intentions with your partner and your primary care physician. Learn how best to prepare your body for a healthy pregnancy. I'm Dr. Kara Thompson-Major, and remember, your health is your wealth.
Art Lucaya, the Grand Bahama Art Festival, is super exciting for me on many different levels. I believe that the festival has the potential to really elevate the art scene here on Grand Bahama.
So the art festival is really exciting to me because it's been a long time in waiting for a big event to happen, something where creatives here on Grand Bahama show our talents and have fun all at the same time.
The theme itself speaks for itself. Emergence. We're butterflies emerging from our cocoons.
Creatives, being surrounded by creatives, I think it's contagious.
We are going to have a great time with so many artists presenting in 3 different locations at the Run Nature Center, Fort Lucaya, and the Garden of the Groves.
Art Lucaya is going to be amazing. I want to encourage the people of Grand Bahama to come out, support.
You have to come out to this art festival. We always talk about we need something to do. This is something to do.
I want to see everybody out to this event, not just those in Grand Bahama, but all around the world. I don't care where you're coming from, come. It's going to be our first event. It's going to be great. It's going to be live, food, dances, performances, everything for you to enjoy. And definitely, you're going to have art.
Pizza Hut Freeport has the perfect deal for you. Order a large one-topping pizza, 5 cheesy breadsticks, and a 2-liter drink for just $24.70 with that. Choose your favorite topping and enjoy our fan-favorite cheesy breadsticks with an ice-cold 2-liter drink. Available at Pizza Hut for delivery, carry-out, and curbside. Order today. Call us at 352-9191. Pizza Hut Freeport.
We all need to save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
Ice the coconut got this, cocoa skin driven madness, juiciness ice the vibe, this sweet like a sugar in a dripping like ice honey, addict, all of my love me, sweet like a sugar in a watch it go ba 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 ba, 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 sweet like a sugar in a
new Clear Platinum flavor, flavored beers with a kick of rum. Make it platinum.
Island Bedding and Furniture is celebrating 20 years in business.
And Grand Bahama, we are doing it big.
We are hosting a huge anniversary celebration, March 24th through the 25th. That's Friday and Saturday. Big markdowns, bundle deals, free merch, and more.
It's a party.
So come and see us at Island Bedding and Furniture and toast to 20 years of serving the Bahamas.
The first bold steps were taken on the road to independence.
So Black Lives mattered in that generation that led to independence. The late Dr. Martin Luther King frequent Bimini on a regular. People didn't know he came to West End, too. I have a picture with Sir Sidney Poitier and my Aunt Pearl on the beach in West End.
During that period, West End was the capital of Grand Bahama. But it was the capital in more than just a name. It was, in fact, the business center for the entire island of Grand Bahama.
from the cardboard days where you push your window out with the stick and you knew everybody around you. And they looked out for your children. They looked out for everyone in the community.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
And this one goes out to our boss lady, senior DGM here at the Northern Service, Allison Smith, wishing you a fantastic birthday. And don't forget the cake, because we didn't see any today. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, Murders Mar March Weekend. Another multi-million-dollar Exuma deal sealed. RCI opposition grows. And in sports, a dollar and a dream. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by BTC. For the fastest speeds across the Bahamas and the lowest price by far, switch to BTC today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. When words fail, perhaps the best phrase to describe the Nassau Village mother who, since Saturday evening, has been grappling with the reality of losing her son, 38-year-old Ronaldo Williams, whom she said didn't deserve to die the way he did.
Tongues cannot express how I feel.
The voice of Veronica Roll, the mother who's still processing the tragic events of the past 48 hours when her son was killed in Nassau Village Saturday evening. As she recounted to our news team Monday, her son left home to get something to eat. Not long after, she heard a barrage of gunshots that triggered her to call out his name. Her worst fears realized when someone appeared on her doorstep and confirmed that he had been killed.
Let me tell you, wrong place at the wrong time. If he didn't stop, he'd have been alive. But I still have to give God thanks for the 38 years that I had him. And I can pick up from there. I will miss him because that's my baby. And it hurts so bad.
To the perpetrator, the grieving mother says the police will catch you. Sadly, though, the incident, not the first for the Nassau Village family, who now feels unsafe in their own home.
The first time somebody shoot up my daughter's car in the road, they just passed and just shoot in the air, and after my daughter was in the car and they see her phone light, they turn around and shoot up the car. And then they come back. Every time they have a problem around there, they just go around shooting up people's house. But I tell them, my children don't do them nothing, because my son, when he take this bike and go run, put gas, he got 2 trucks, is parked right across the road there. When he going for gas and carrying his vehicle's gas and things, he's be right here.
The incident sparking area MP Jamal Strawn to drop everything and head back to New Providence from Long Island, where he was spending his birthday.
At the end of the day, it's a negative stigma attempting to be attached to the constituency of Nassau Village. These incidents are isolated. It's not a situation of ongoing turmoil. No, that's not the situation. So for it to be perpetrated in any way other than, a one-off incident. I had to ensure that persons knew the narrative and the persons who might be involved, so that they know that we're definitely working 100% with the Royal Bahamas Police Force and all branches of the government to ensure that we bring these persons to justice. We will not tolerate violence in our constituency that we are just now rebuilding.
Well, meantime, detectives returning to the scene of the crime following a bloody weekend that's left 3 families to visit a morgue and make funeral preparations, while another prays for their teen loved one to pull through. Our Lloyd Allen has more from police, who today confirmed a number of people are being questioned in relation to these incidents.
Police confirming a 17-year-old is one of the 2 victims of the recent shooting in the Montell Heights area. And as a result of that, they've beefed up their patrols with officers from a number of departments making their tours in a number of areas.
The 3 of the homicides so far for this weekend, it appears that they are connected.
Officer in charge of the Criminal Investigations Department, Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, confirming a correlation between all incidents, with a number of suspects now in custody.
We have several persons in custody that we're speaking with, and we're seeing how far that goes. If there's evidence, they will be brought before the court.
Regarding the Montell Heights incident, Johnson gave this update in addition to confirming both victims were teens.
The 2 persons were just south of where I am, sitting in a yard when they were approached by gunmen who opened fire and shot both victims. The second victim is still detained in hospital. Yes, we have a short spotter, which has been very helpful to us. It is locking down a timeline, and that too has assisted us, along with some camera footages we're looking at.
Deputy Commander of the Grove Police Station, Superintendent Janice Minnis, offering condolences to the families of the victims, but also sharing efforts to beef up police presence in the area of Montell Heights.
Officers from my division, along with Ceasefire, we patrol this area constantly. So it's unfortunate this happened.
Police also visiting the Nassau Village area with their hopes of increasing security and ensuring safety for all residents.
We were able to put out selective special patrols within the southeastern, especially the Nassau Village area, what seems to be peaking in terms of crime.
Johnson sharing further details on the victimology of the Faith Avenue South homicide, with officers in that area also increasing patrols.
He appears to be in his early 20s. He is known to the police.
With all these various incidents, we have increased our patrols in collaboration with all of the units within the Royal Bahamas Police Force, inclusive of Ceasefire, SWAT, the Dog Section, and Mobile Division. Also, we have an operation called Operation Eradication, where it's a consistent collaborative partnership with the Bahamas Department of Immigration, Inland Revenue, and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force.
And according to Campbell, as Operation Eradication is enhancing the operations of officers, they say these moves will continue to intensify their efforts across the country. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Now, we can also tell you tampering with electronic monitoring devices to commit further crimes still a serious concern for the National Security Minister, who holds firm these criminals have no regard for the law or human life. LaDawn Davis picks up the story from here.
You cannot stop a criminal from doing criminal things. The reason he is before the court, in our judgment, when we charge him, is he hasn't followed the rules.
Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe there, speaking directly to criminals who continue to tamper with electronic monitoring devices after being released on bail for murder and other serious crimes. Just this past Friday, one of the suspects involved in a brazen daylight armed robbery in Jubilee Gardens was caught with foil paper wrapped around the device as a means of preventing authorities from tracking his whereabouts. Monroe says the craftiness of these criminals and their quest to break the law proves that the only place for them is behind bars and bail revoked.
We're prosecuting people before the court. The current vendor puts together the affidavits for us. They notify us. The police's job is to prosecute before the court. We're seeking to get permission to be the party who moves the Supreme Court then to revoke the bail.
The minister's comments fresh on the heels of this weekend's triple homicides, 2 within minutes, the other just hours later.
I was briefed on one that involved a partial burning, and I'm told that one of the 2 on the weekend may have been related to that. And I'm still waiting to be briefed on what is said to be the motive for the matter involving the young man. How it works is these things happen. We're concerned about what's the driver for them, because once you know what the driver for them is, then you can seek to address it. There still continues to be in this country a lack of regard for human life. And so from the 2 murders that I was briefed on over the weekend, they were intentional. They were multiple shots. In one case, it was a total, I think, of 26 rounds, casings recovered at the scene.
Monroe says this all means there were 2 shooters whose intention was to kill their target. Furthermore, he says he's tired of hearing, "This is my good son."
We really need you to stop that. Good children do not shoot people multiple times. Good children do not murder other people. Good children do not rob other people. I say again, if you confront the police, if you fire on the police, they will fire back.
The police and defense forces, along with the Department of Corrections, are all expected to see an increase in their budgets, funds that will assist in securing additional resources to fight crime, according to the minister. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
In related news, an all-points bulletin issued for Larry McIntosh, who police have pegged down as an alleged murderer. Authorities have provided no aid for McIntosh, who also answers to law, but his last known address is listed as Lincoln Boulevard. The suspect said to be brown-skinned and slim-built. Anyone with information on his whereabouts should call 911, 919, or the nearest police station. And police this evening confirming that 24-year-old Wilton Keno Dawkins of Lincoln Boulevard of Wolf Road's partially burnt remains were discovered in the area of the Anatole Rogers High School after 4 a.m. on March 10th. Well, those murders certainly not the only incidents keeping police busy this weekend. Altavi's Munnings has this weekend's crime wrap-up.
A 36-year-old male resident of Carmichael Road was arrested and charged in connection with the murder of Mateo Roll, which happened Friday, March 10th, in the area of Anatole Rogers Senior High School on Marshall Road, where police say the victim was discovered with multiple gunshot injuries to the body. A 20-year-old male resident of Barbados Avenue in Elizabeth Estates was arrested last week Tuesday in connection with the murder of Jorge Cuevas that reportedly occurred on Friday, February 10th in the area of Island La Cable Beach. Police initially reported that the victim succumbed to injuries received after being ambushed by occupants of a dark-colored vehicle who discharged gunshots in his direction, hitting him multiple times about the body. Additionally, the suspect, along with a 29-year-old male resident of Blue Hill Heights, were both charged with conspiracy to commit murder against a police officer on March 13th while at the Criminal Investigation Department. All of these suspects were expected to be arraigned. Police also want to charge a 21-year-old male resident of Badger Lane, that's in Fox Hill, for attempted murder. Reports state that while driving in the area of Step Street in Fox Hill on February 27th, the suspect, armed with a handgun, approached 2 individuals and opened fire on them. Unlawful sexual intercourse charges were levied on a 27-year-old male of Brougham Street. Police say the victim's mother told them on Sunday, June 19th, 2022, that her daughter was having sexual intercourse with the 26-year-old man. Then attempted rape charges were levied on a 21-year-old man who police say was at a Mermaid Boulevard residence on July 14th last year when he attempted to rape his female cousin. This suspect's also been accused of sexually assaulting this relative on numerous occasions since the summer of 2021. Detectives, along with Operation Ceasefire officers, arrested and charged men for armed robbery in 3 separate incidents. We can tell you that those 2 armed robbers nabbed just last week Friday will also be questioned about armed robberies that occurred at Royal Bank, RBC, Old Fort Bay, Gleniston Gardens off Prince Charles Drive, and in Stapleton Gardens. A 28-year-old male resident of Hospital Lane was charged in connection with threats of death that he reportedly made towards his father on February 18th. Drug Enforcement Unit and Operation Ceasefire officers discovered a high-powered weapon along with a quantity of ammunition in an abandoned building on Finlayson Street last week Monday, and arrested and charged a 20-year-old male resident of Gilder Street with possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition after seizing a 9mm pistol and 7 live rounds in a vehicle he was driving in the area of Ethel Street and Bell Road. And from March 13th through March 19th, electronic monitoring unit officers arrested and charged 13 men and 1 woman between the ages of 34 and 17 years old for breaches of bail conditions. If you have any information that can assist police with any of these matters, please call the Criminal Investigation Department. The number there is 502-9991. You can also call Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, 919-911, or you can always call or visit your nearest police station. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Munnings.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse, the people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Are you overpaying for low speeds with your internet provider? Stop wasting your money. Switch to BTC for the fastest internet to the most homes in the Bahamas. Get up to 300 megs fiber fast speeds, up to 3 times faster than what you get now. Plus, get 164 TV channels, all for just $42.50 a month for 12 months. That means you'll save $860 for the year. For the fastest speeds across the Bahamas and the lowest price by far, BTC is for you. Switch to the largest fiber network in the Bahamas.
Just when Leo was about to buy this useless pair of Hands underwear, he remembered that it was Tuesday. Hungry for deals? You better come satisfy it at KFC before doing something crazy. Crazy Tuesdays! 5 juicy, mouth-watering pieces of world-famous KFC chicken, handmade with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices for only $10. Crazy Tuesdays! A finger-licking good deal.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
All right, I'm looking at my dress. You ready for this big party?
Party? Girl, you're gonna have to change your birthday because I can't make that. After my party, I get a cough, I start having a fever, and then I even had a sore throat. I thought it was the flu. Come to find out it was COVID. Girl, I think you better get tested.
What do you do now? I can't be bothered with COVID, you know.
Girl, you know it ain't never too late to change your plans. Girl, you know they got new testing sites, right? You better go to one of them.
Where are these new sites located anyway?
University of the Bahamas and Golden Gates Plaza. They're open on weekdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on weekends from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They even have sites in Abaco, Eleuthera, and Exuma, and they're opened on the weekends. Girl, the best part is, it's free.
Thanks for letting me know. I hope you feel better soon.
Message is brought to you by PAHO WHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
This segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Discover mortgage ideas shaped around you. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story to start your story today.
Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis reaffirming his support for his Education Minister, the Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin, despite calls from the opposition that she resigned from Cabinet for voicing her continued objection to the government's approval of Royal Caribbean International's $100 million beach club on Paradise Island. Hannah Martin's made it clear her position remains unchanged from the one she held while in opposition, holding firm that the cruise industry does not need an island on New Providence, and the country should be developing its own opportunities for cruise passengers. However, the Free National Movement contends that since the minister is not sharing the view of her cabinet colleagues, she has to resign based on cabinet rules. While in his own statement, the nation's leader says the deal is still under review as the government remains committed to ensuring any decision is made is in the best interest of the country. That being the case, it is his view that Hannah Martin has not violated the ministerial code, adding that all Bahamians will have shared his experience that in her long and valued career in politics, she's always advocated powerfully, passionately, and with integrity. When asked directly about Hannah Martin's view on the deal while on Exuma this weekend, the Prime Minister had this to say.
This is a different deal, and if the deal was what we rejected or spoke against while we were in opposition, I would have had the same position she has today. But the deal is fundamentally different, and I think once she understands what the deal is about, we'll see what happens. As I said before, the deal is yet to be consummated. There's still some subjects that has to be fulfilled. There's still some preconditions that has to be fulfilled. And once they are fulfilled, that's when the deal will come to actuality.
Well, there's even more opposition tonight on the Royal Caribbean's Paradise Island Beach Club project. Atlanta's Paradise Island Resort has engaged independent environmental consultancy firm One Consultants, led by former Bahamas National Trust executive Eric Carey, to review the project's environmental impact. Now, in an open letter, Carey makes it clear that he doesn't support the project since its initial introduction due to its significant environmental risk and considerations. While he's concerned about protecting Paradise Island's native plants rather than replacing it with non-native vegetation, Carey's main bone of contention is the project's proposed sewage management. He proposes strict controls of the pressurized line to pump the raw sewage across the harbor to a facility in Nassau, an effective wastewater treatment plant, and a septic system with a deep disposal well. He added the recommendation of modifying some of the project's proposed pocket beaches to enhance the visitor experience. Carey concluding that he trusts the government will address the project's environmental concerns and encourages Bahamians to voice their environmental concerns about it. Well, Exuma hits the jackpot with the signing of another major investment today. With the story, we go to our Cleopatra Murphy.
It's been a long journey, but CEO of Cave Key Limited, Felipe McLean, is adamant that the Cave Key Club and Resort will ultimately be the best resort in the world. Government and the investors on Monday signed a more than $500 million heads of agreement for the boutique resort, marina, and private residential club community set for Cave Key Exuma at the office of the Prime Minister. The development that McLean anticipates will get underway soon will include a nearly 100-slip marina capable of accommodating vessels up to 150 feet, along with the construction of 214 homes.
So this project will take probably 8 years, but the first phase, we envision it to be ready in the next 2 years. It would employ probably between 250 to 500 employees at full capacity. But 250 is the number that I can tell you now.
Officials are touting their commitment to environmental stewardship, and as the marina has already been dredged, McLean expects little environmental impact. The development set to intertwine the natural environment with sustainable design also includes housing options at varying price points.
Cottages, we have villas, we have estates. So it's a variety of products for the different customers. We also have boathouses that is one of our other products. But in average, most of them is $2,000 per square foot. in answering your question, the products go from 3,500 square foot AC to probably 12,000 square foot AC.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis says the country welcomes the continued developments.
Again, it's just it demonstrates the efforts that we're putting into expanding and diversifying the tourism product, and it also again marks the expression of confidence that the international community is having in our brand.
Exuma's Member of Parliament and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says the development will lead to one of the biggest marinas in the country, while the investment adds to what Cave Key has been known for the past decade.
This is a continuation of the renaissance that we are seeing in the Exumas. It's going to deepen and strengthen and enrich our already vibrant product. In addition, of course, to, in excess of 200 construction jobs and entrepreneurial opportunities for persons living in the Keys and persons from Exuma who might be returning.
The Cave Key signing marks the fifth project the Davis administration has signed for Exuma since taking office, marking approximately $1.2 billion in investments. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Former manager of Florida-based Oban Energies, Peter Kreger, was last week charged by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission for misappropriating approximately $5.2 million of investor funds for his personal use, including to purchase luxury cars and jewelry. You may remember the company developed an oil refinery and storage facility in Grand Bahama. The commission's complaint alleges that from at least January 2017 through August 2020, Kreger used his exclusive access to Oban's bank account to direct investor funds to two unrelated entities he controlled, either directly or through a third party. To resolve the commission's charges, Kreger agreed to a judgment that permanently enjoins him from future violations of these provisions of the federal securities laws and includes a permanent conduct-based injunction, bars him from serving as an officer or director of a public company, and orders him to pay disgorgement, prejudgment interest, and civil penalties in amounts to be determined by the court upon future motion of the commission. Well, debate on the Tourism Development Corporation Act expected to begin in the House of Assembly this morning, but that will have to wait as Government House Leader, the Honorable Obi Welshcombe, indicated more time is needed before those deliberations can actually begin. Before the House adjourned, though, Minister of State for the Public Service and Member of Parliament for Golden Gates, the Honorable Pia Glover-Rowe, reported on her representation at the United Nations 62nd Commission on the Status of Women in New York City and the 146th Inter-Parliamentary Union Assembly in Bahrain. That conference, featuring 2,500 delegates comprising 800 parliamentarians and 50 House speakers.
Discussion matters and review of draft resolutions were debated on cyber attacks and cyber crimes, inclusive of gender-responsive legislation, political hate speech, and the human rights of parliamentarians, the support for small island developing states who have existential threats due to climate change, respect for international humanitarian law, parliamentary efforts in achieving negative carbon balances of forests, and strengthening of parliaments through better coordination of IPU and UN, bringing gender equality to the UN General Assembly. It's the considered view of the Bahamas delegation that Interparliamentary Union affiliation should be sought by the Bahamas to access the many benefits that membership provides. I will advance a paper to Cabinet seeking consideration of same, and the opposition leader has also advised of his side's agreement in support of IPU affiliation.
Well, now time for the weekly poll question, and this week we're asking, should corporal punishment continue to be administered in schools in the Bahamas, yes or no? To participate, simply log on to our website, that's www.znesbahamas.com, as well as any of our social media platforms to answer. The poll's final results will be aired on Friday, and as always, thanks for participating. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Everybody's idea of home is different, so every mortgage should be unique. shaped around you, flexible to move and change as you do. RBC will come to you to get you started and stay by your side to help guide you every step of the way. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story and start your story today.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at RBC Caribbean.
My name is Orlando Twinquist, and I live here in Dead Man's Key, Long Island. Well, I do a lot of things like farming, little fishing, and I play music. I think that I born with a streak of music in me, coming from my mommy. She used to play the accordion, and also repair them when they went bad. But I used to be around schools and churches, and because I wanted to get more into the music, like when I was like 6. So I've been in this a long, long time. But this whole rake and scrape thing about Long Island started from the older people. And Long Island rake and scrape really started off on a tamarind, but a goat skin tamarind, not a church tamarind. Get a spoon. This is how it started. A gin bottle. They never had any type of music, excitement. So one of those guys thought up something like, oh, let me use this bottle. So this is what I'll do now, because they didn't know anything about what I see you. So that is my real original story about rake and scrape. It's the best place in the world. That's the real thing.
Technical Education Month was recently celebrated by the Department of Education, and C.I. Gibson Senior High School had introduced its new coding class right in time. This 10th grader gives us her perspective.
Coding is like an experience you can have in order to make stuff, because in this generation today, most students are using laptops, computers, and internet, all that stuff. I've been learning things like, let's say, we all know what the internet is, but I've been learning the internet is like a connection or a bunch of network servers. And HTML, for example, you just see inside a link or something, but I see HTML as hypertext markup language.
Her classmate, Amari Clark, is already planning how he will use his coding skills in the future.
I have a great interest for games, so when I started creating games, a lot of people enjoy them, so I just created a program, and people just buy the game and they continue to play the game. As I continue to edit and update the game as well by programming it, or I can use inside the business I make to make more money and make a programming page so people could see the advertisements I make.
So what I needed to do is just be the organizer that I am, and my mandate was to allow every business class to have at least one period of coding per week. My goal, my overarching goal, is to always expose them to every and anything that's going to cause them at the end of the day to be well-rounded students, and most of all, to be able to make money.
Well, that's the train I'm getting on. I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk.
Just know you're
those that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services. We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter
Which of us you choose?
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Searching for insurance for your beloved senior citizen? Star General offers the Silver Medical Plan for which you can apply up to age 85. The network includes the finest hospitals and healthcare centers worldwide. Insurance is provided through an AM Best A-rated insurer with reinsurance support through Lloyd's of London. Other features include no medical tests required, 4 deductibles, and $2 million lifetime benefits. Visit or call Star General Health and Life Insurance today.
So, well, I went into ZNS in 1977. Mr. Bethel then was in charge of the news department. But in the later years, when I rise to the ranks in television, I worked closely with him while he produced and hosted a lot of television programs. Mr. Bethel was a broadcaster par excellence. And even after he left ZNS, I will always speak to him about when he was going to write his book on his years with the corporation. And a few years ago, he said that he was beginning to do just that. Mr. Bethel had a history, a knowledge par excellence.
for hurricane season. We got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you can be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
That work? Can you see me?
Yeah, it's working. This is super cool. Are you gonna help me clean up your toys?
Delivery.
Be right there.
Hello?
Am I gonna get it or are you gonna get it? I'll get it. I'll get it. Hey, thank you. Come on.
Hey, can I help you? Hey.
No, sorry, I'm not home. I'm coming.
Cat Islanders are getting set for a boost to its economy. Come August 4th through the 7th, boats will be released into the water for that island's 67th annual regatta. Shireen Poitier-Johnson, president of the Cat Island Development Association, says this year's honoree is Cat Island native Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis. Here's Chair of the Boat Cruise Committee, William Seymour, with the fundraising events planned.
First boat cruise is on May 27th. And we plan to have an exciting time. We will be having Glacido and the boys. They would and DJ Gold Digger would be DJ. The second boat cruise would be on June 24th, and final boat cruise just prior to us heading to Cat Island would be on the 29th of July. Those, while in Cat Island, we plan to have a great time. ZNS will be extending wide coverage of all of the events.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil. Lot of rain today.
Yes, good evening, Makisha. We're under cloudy skies after some light rain showers, and we've been having that all day long, but all the details coming up on when that will end very shortly, so just stay tuned. Temperature right now at 72 degrees under cloudy skies. Relative humidity still quite rich at 86%. We have north-northeast winds at 19 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.3 millibars. That is 30.06 inches. And the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Valleys this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 72 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll, Key, and Marshall, Barbacoa. The Berry Islands at 72 degrees. Allenstown, Bimini, a little warmer at 77, 73 in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera 77, Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Bay, St. Andrews, also 77 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andrews, 75 degrees. And congratulations to Fresh Creek, Central Andrews, Junkanoo Group. Yes, they won the best music category in the recent held Junkanoo Parade there in North and Central Andros. More temperatures, 78 degrees in San Salvador and Rumkey. Georgetown, Exuma 79, 80 degrees in Ragged Island, Clarence, Stanley Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay 81, Acklands 81, Matthewtown, Niagara 82. And the Texas Cakers Islands at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwest and central islands tonight through Tuesday, north to northeast winds 15 to 20 knots. That means caution flags in place for the northwest and central islands through tomorrow. Those wave heights running 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. High tide takes place at 7:52 this evening. Another high tide at 8:16 tomorrow morning for the central and southeastern parts, for the southeast Bahamas, pardon me, through Tuesday. The winds will be light and variable, 1 to 3 feet wave heights. And as we take you into Wednesday, middle of the week, for all areas, the winds will be northeast at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. So the caution flag will extend into the southeast Bahamas. High tide will take place at 9:03 Wednesday morning with a low tide at 3:19 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Our free pick, pack, delivery service gives everyone in the Family Islands a chance to shop a variety of club products and prices right from home. Simply call or WhatsApp your order to 242-677-7266 or email order@amlfoods.com. A friendly customer service representative is waiting to pick, pack, and deliver your order to the mailboat of your choice. The options are truly endless, and with membership you save even more. So order today and let CostRite pick, pack, and deliver right to you.
The most important thing in life is family, and whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Have you been denied a U.S. visa and don't understand why? Have you been turned away from the U.S. border without an explanation? Maybe you've had a prior arrest or conviction and you're not clear on how to move forward at this point. Call our office. We may be able to help. 954-449-1833.
Wednesdays just got a whole lot better. Introducing Whopper Wednesdays at Burger King Nassau. Get a flame-grilled Whopper for only $5.50, including VAT. Yes, you heard that right. This Wednesday, you can indulge in the classic flame-grilled Whopper you love, made your way for only $5.50. Stop by your favorite Burger King Nassau location this Wednesday and enjoy a Whopper for only $5.50. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Shopping online isn't new to the market, but gaining access to affordable healthcare products at the click of a button is the greatest customer experience. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited gives access to a complete customer journey, from shopping in our retail store on 9th Terrace, Centerville, to shopping online at your convenience from work or from the comfort of your home. Offering delivery and pickup options. Remember, if it's healthcare, it's here. Shop online today.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Monday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports news. Yolette McPhee-McCoy and her Ole Miss Lady Rebels shocked the women's college basketball world Sunday night as they would defeat number 1 Stanford 54-49. The Rebels never trailed in the game. Ole Miss's defense, which Coach Yo said would be their strength this season, leaned on that for the victory. They got 2 clutch steals from Madison Scott and Maya Taylor to seal the win. The Rebels led 29-20 at halftime. Stanford was held to a season-low 7 points in the second quarter. With the win, Ole Miss clinches their first victory over a number 1 seed in program history and will play in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2007. This will also be their 11th time playing in the Sweet 16, a signature win for Coach Yo and the Lady Rebels as Ole Miss waits the winner of Louisville, Texas this Friday in Seattle.
This is for the people with $1 and a dream. I'm a little girl from the Bahamas that was given an opportunity. I wasn't Ole Miss's first choice, but I was the right one, and I was naive enough to think that I could do it, and that's what no ceilings means, that there's no limit. And so I'm just really proud to be the head coach here, and you know, I don't know what to say, Brooke. We're going to Seattle. I love Seattle.
The feat certainly not lost on supporters here at home, and possibly the biggest one, the nation's chief prime minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, in a tweet congratulating Coach Yo on the accomplishment, saying he watched with pride as she made history with one of the biggest upsets in women's college basketball history. On the men's side, also dancing their way into the Sweet 16 would be Frederick King and his Creighton Blue Jays as they defeated the Baylor Bears 85-76 on Sunday to lock up their spot. King appearing in 5 minutes of game time, finishing with 1 rebound. Their second Sweet 16 appearance in the last 3 seasons. With the win, Creighton advances to face 15-seeded Princeton in Louisville, Kentucky in the South Regional semifinals on Friday. In basketball action here at home, the UB Mingos taking on the Carroll Construction Shockers in MPBA playoff action on Saturday. The Shockers would head into the game up 1-0 in the best of 3 series. Justin Burrows for 2 here. He had 9 on the night. The Mingos would go up 42-36. So in the third quarter, the Mingos on a fast break. Quante Edgecombe on the move. He slashes for the layup. He would finish with 11 in the game. So in the third, the Mingos guard Theodore Grant loses the defender. He connects for 2 of his 18 points. The Mingos would go up 50-40. Grant again takes the 3 himself, and he hits it. Still in the third, the Mingos inbound from Ricardo Taylor to Glenderson Black for 2 of his 8 points. The Mingos would go up by as much as 10, but could not hold off the late surge from the Shockers. The Shockers would win 74-69 to advance to the second round, taking the series 2-0.
I have to give credit to the Shockers. They made some good buckets coming down the stretch. I thought we played good defense on most of them high enough. We wanted to contest. We wanted to give them a 3-pointer or jump shot contest, and they hit their jump shot down the stretch. And that was the deciding factor of the game. We missed. We wanted. They was holding Teal and Hugh, and we wanted to get some backdoor and handoff and stop his action with them. They did a good job of stopping them, but for the most part, I think it happened on the Shockers end of being composed and hitting the key jumpers when they needed it for them.
Over the weekend, representatives from the New Providence Sports Council holding a press conference at the Bahamas Olympic Committee headquarters to air out several of their grievances in relation to the Bahamas Games, namely what they described as a lack of accommodations for the New Providence athletes as it relates to the proposed athletes' village for the Games, something they say will cause the athletes from the capital to be at a disadvantage.
Athletes are way more exposed today. Persons who now in the leadership of the council, we know what's supposed to happen. And so in any multi-sport game, and you have the Games Village, all persons, all athletes, coaches, supposed to be a part of this. And we're simply saying to the powers to be, the Secretariat, the powers to be, responsible for the Bahama Games, that we are not going to allow the New Providence team to be discriminated against, or we're not going to allow the New Providence team to be taken advantage of.
With the date for the Bahamas Games draft quickly approaching, as it is set for mid-April, association heads have also expressed their concerns about the lack of funds provided for their respective disciplines.
Players, you call them, they overseas, they want to know if you're going to pay for them to come in. You have accommodation for them to stay. We need to know where these funds are supposed to come from.
We got to find out how much of our now international baseball players coming home to participate in the game. We got to, through the Sports Council, we got to make plans to get them home. So funds really should have been dished out a few months ago.
Put our budget in right on time because we have requests from at least 6 different islands to come out for a couple days and do a clinic with them to make sure their local cyclists can be prepared. And we were prepared in that budget also to provide some helmets which they need in order to ride and they don't have easily available in the islands. We are able to do that because we received 0 in funding to this date.
Now, the Zenith Total Sports team did reach out to representatives from the Bahamas Game Secretariat, but no response was given up to news time. We'll continue to keep you updated on this story as it progresses. On the weekend, over at the Montague Foreshore, the Long Islanders Association holding its 5th annual Captain Switch-Up Mini Regatta. Look at the final standings after 2 days of competition. In the Best Captain division in the C class, Stephen Knowles would finish first, followed by Dwayne Higgins in second. And third would be David Roll. And fourth would be Romaldo Ross, followed by Stefano Camp in fifth. Rounding up the top 6 would be Keith Brown. As for Best Boat, taking first place would be Whisper, followed by Sweet Island Gal. In third would be Cobra 2, San Sally in fourth, Sassy Sue in fifth, and Dream Girl in sixth. As for the main series races, the top 3 finishers there, Baintown Woman, skippered by Kevin Moxie Jr. In second would be Captain Peg, skippered by Joshua Green. And in third would be COVID-19, skippered by Douglas Saunders. And that's when we look at your sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
March Madness begins with crazy good specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Par Excellence Rice, 5 pounds, $3.99. Rainbow Corned Beef, 12 ounce, 2 for $5. Libby Spaghetti and Meatballs, 15 ounce, $1.39. Mazola Cooking Oil, 40 ounce, $5.39. Cheddar Cheese, $4.69 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
On March 31st, Phil Stubbs at the Farm. Tickets on sale now. $50 general admission, $75 VIP, $150 for the Skybox party. For Skybox rates, call 525-4180. Get your tickets online at BahamasEtickets.com. The Beauty Shack, Proud Mary, or any Flying Dutchman location. Joining Phil on stage, Veronica Bishop, Ancient Man, Mr. Anderson, Phil Stubbs, live in concert. Friday, March 31st at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather after a weekend-long rain activity, those rains are now moving away towards the south and east of the capital, so we'll be left with some cloudy conditions tonight. But by tomorrow, the skies will open up and we'll see the sun by tomorrow afternoon. Tonight, we're looking at some rain and possibly some thunderstorms, particularly in the vicinity of that frontal boundary. Clouds will be breaking later, but remaining windy as those winds will be increasing through tomorrow. Your low temperature tonight, about 70 degrees, and tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny, breezy, and quite pleasant. 78 degrees for your high temperature. The extended weather forecast. Lots of sunshine working its way back into our forecast, and that will remain with us for the next 7 days. Temperature-wise, we're going to get you in the 60s once again, and those 60s will continue right into Thursday. Warming trend begins on Friday, and that will continue through the weekend with daytime temperatures in the mid-80s and your low nighttime temperatures in the low 70s. Vocational.
Well, thanks, Basil. Well, it's said a smile a day keeps the blues at bay, and there's also a reason or other to smile. And perhaps at no other time does that hold true And today, International Day of Happiness. That is, a day set aside by the United Nations General Assembly to make people around the world realize the importance of happiness within their lives. This year's theme, be mindful, be grateful, be kind. In the 2022 World Happiness Report, the top 10 happiest countries were Finland, Denmark, Iceland, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Sweden, Norway, Israel, and New Zealand. Now, however you choose to celebrate the day is the right way. Simply take the time to reflect on whatever brings you joy and contentment. And on this International Day of Happiness, it's with all smiles that we extend warm and heartfelt greetings to our newly minted sports director, Charles Fisher.
Happy birthday, Fisher.
Happy birthday again, Fisher. Have a good one.
Happy birthday, old boy. I thought I just a little older than now. It shocked me to know you only 50, but enjoy it.
Charles Fisher, I want to wish you a very, very happy birthday, my dear.
Happy birthday, Fisher. All the best. And I hope you live to see 50 more years.
Happy birthday, Fisher. See many more.
Happy birthday, Fisher. Have a great day.
Happy birthday, Mr. Fisher.
Happy birthday, Charles Fisher. This is the month, March.
Fisher told you today was his birthday?
No, but I mean, you know, I think the world knows. We wouldn't let anyone live that down. You really talked us poorly.
You torment us.
You know, Charles, but deep down inside, real deep down inside, we love you. I wouldn't say we miss you today, but we love you.
We're going to ask him resources to get you some more days so you don't have to rush back in, so we good.
Yeah, and Charles, I left my cornrows in just for you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I really hope you enjoy it.
Should I sing happy birthday to you? Well, happy birthday to you. Fisher, you made it to half a century. Wow, wow, wow. You're older than me. Happy birthday. Enjoy your special day.
Purchase your track today.
Well, Charles Fisher, we certainly do hope you had a fabulous birthday. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.